guys, my name is Liddy and today I'm going to be starting a reading vlog. So I've never done a reading vlog before, but I've been wanting to do one because they just look like so much fun. So I decided to do one. So I'm going to actually be vlogging my experience reading a single book, which is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. As you can see, I've already started it. So I decided to do it in this format because I don't really have the ability to commit an entire day to reading, nor commit like a week to trying to read as much as I can, just because my reading moods kind of ebb and flow. So that's not realistic for me. Also, I've decided to do it in this format because book reviews are just not necessarily my strong point, but I want to be able to talk about books and talk about my thoughts and opinions and feelings on them, and I thought that doing it as I'm reading it might be a more successful way to do that, just with the way that I remember things and with the way I react to things. I think doing it like as it's happening is going to be a better format for me. So I'm really excited to read this book. I'm about 45 pages in. I might have already said that, but it's had a bit of a slow start, but I am really intrigued and I can't wait to see what happens. Hey guys, it's the next day and I'm here with my first check-in. So I am now 78 pages in. And mostly I'm just checking in because I met our male protagonist, Adrian, and I think he's precious already. I am really looking forward to getting to know his character more and just hearing more about like what he's going through, because it seems like he's kind of going through a lot, like has a lot to work through in his mind, and he has the coolest power ever, and this is not a spoiler, so it's like there's an overview of characters and their powers like at the very beginning of the book. But his power is to like, if he draws something out, like it comes to life. So like if he draws stitches, like they'll work as stitches, which is so cool. So I'm just really excited. Like these last 30 pages were a lot quicker reads than the first 45 or whatever it was. So I'm getting excited getting more into this book, and I can't wait to get to know this character more because I think he's going to be my favorite in the book. Guys, I'm coming with you with a pretty late night update. I'm 178 pages in now, and I definitely stand by my fact that this book had a bit of a slow start, but I'm like finally at where the like body of the story starts, and it's like, oh, I really want to keep reading right now, but I have work tomorrow, so I really need to go to bed. But oh my gosh, this is getting really interesting. I am so intrigued. I am so intrigued by these characters. In an earlier update, I said that I was like kind of all in it for Adrian, and that was about it. Like, no, I'm super intrigued by Nova. I just think both of them have like such interesting motivations, and it's so cool. And I think they both have noble motivations for the most part. Like, they're definitely both flawed, but I think for the most part they have noble motivations, but they're like coming from opposite sides, and it's really cool, and I can't wait. It's been a bit of a slow read. I think it's almost a week after my last update, but I've been reading multiple books at once, which I've never done before, really. I just finished Emma by Jane Austen. By the time you see this, you'll see a video about that, but I'm like in a mood to be reading like everything right now, and when I'm in the mood to read everything, I either will just be reading one book and then like occasionally picking up the other ones, or like I'll read nothing because I can't decide which one I'm gonna read. So yeah, I'm currently rereading Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone as well, and I might start another book tomorrow because I just want to read everything right now. We'll see. But I also might just keep going with Renegades, like, and plow through it because I'm really starting to get into it. So that's all I have for this update. So I am now 280 pages in. Please don't mind how much of a dump I look like right now. I just got home from work, and the reason I'm filming this right now is because I read at work a bit, and oh goodness gracious boat. I probably shouldn't read during lunch break because I might have accidentally clocked back in 2 minutes late because I was so invested in the book that I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, they got into their origin stories of their powers in the section I just read, which was super, super, super intriguing. I really enjoyed those stories, and like just where they are right now in this book is so fascinating. Like Nova trying to figure out her crap, like, oh goodness, and like I can't. This book, I'm officially invested in this book. As I'm kind of sad that like the beginning was so slow for me because I love it so much now, and I want to give it a 5 out of 5 stars like with where I'm at right now, but like I know I won't because the first 150 pages like were interesting, but they were so slow that I'm just like, oh goodness, am I ever going to start like super enjoying this book? I'm glad I've finally gotten to that point, and I know I said about 100 pages ago I was getting to that point, but like now I'm really getting to that point. Yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm like already super fascinated with where this is gonna go as a series. Like I'm like, where is this book gonna end? Where's the next one gonna go? What's gonna happen? Like I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, and I'm really happy that I'm more into it now because I was a little nervous that I wasn't gonna like this one as much as I had hoped, and I'm really enjoying it. And I already have high hopes for whatever future books are going to be in the Renegades universe. So I'm not actually listening to Taylor Swift as I read right now. I couldn't resist. When I saw I was on chapter 22, I had to listen to it. I'm actually watching old vlogs from Reagan because why not? I just had this random urge to watch Reagan vlogs, and then I discovered that she used to like have a vlogging channel, and I just discovered this, so I'm doing that while I read because I'm a multitasker. So I'm gonna get back to reading because I actually have no actual update for you. So it's been about an hour. I've read one chapter. Granted, it was a long chapter, but like I could have read more than that if I wasn't so dang distracted. So I decided to stop on the Vlogmas videos for now because I'm just paying more attention to them than the book, and I do really want to read this. Also, I apologize, I'm sick. That's why I sound weird. Maybe I don't, but that's why I sound weird and why I kind of look like a dump, because I just don't have motivation. I called off work today, and it's been a treat. Today's been an interesting day, so I'm distracted by the fact that I'm sick, and by Vlogmas videos, and by car issues, so yeah. But basically where I'm at, I actually do have things to say, because this is like a very intriguing chapter. Is the romance element is still like, it's small, but I love it. Like, I ship this so hard. I love it. And like the way that Nova acts like about her feelings that she doesn't want to exist, like, oh, it's great. It's like me when I have a crush, because she was like had like the fleeting annoying thoughts about the character that she's attracted to, and she's like, why am I having these thoughts? And I'm like, this is me. This is me. So I really appreciate that, and I just like really am appreciating like seeing her interact with the Renegades and being like trying to figure out like what to say to them, like how much information is too much information, and just kind of like going back and forth with her motivations. It's super, super fascinating. I was not expecting to like her as much as I do. Just the more I read from her perspective, the more I like her. Also, I apologize for like the weird camera angles. I don't have a vlogging camera. So I'm now on page 379, so I've read 100 pages today. Once I stopped being so distracted by Vlogmas, I zipped through the next 80 pages. I couldn't put it down. Like, this book is getting really, really good. I'm so intrigued, as I said before, by Nova's motivations. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I honestly might finish this book, like, in the next 2 days. I'll probably finish it on Monday, honestly, because I have a busy week. It's currently Friday. Yeah, I have a busy weekend, which is exciting, because I like having things to do. But yeah, I am just really excited with where this book is now. Like, it's definitely, like really in the meat of the story now. That is definitely the fastest 100 pages I've read of this book. Because, you know, I'm about almost 400 pages in, so, like, that's, like, a pretty significant thing to say, I would think, or whatever. Yeah, so it's just really intriguing. Since my last check-in, which was 80 pages ago, there hasn't been, like, much more with the romance aspect, but that's okay. Like, I didn't really miss it, even though, like, I'm super into it. Because the action of the story and, like, the character development that's going on, is just blowing my mind, and just, I can't get over this cover and how well it fits the aesthetic of the book. It's, like, an amazing cover, and it fits the aesthetic of the book really, 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 really well. I think it's nailed, whoever designed this nailed it. Which is a thought I've had for a while, but I'm just going to talk about it now since I'm almost 400 pages in, so I can, like, say that it just really fits the book. Like, seeing, like, Nova's pose on it and how she's, like, really kind of you know, torn, and seeing the Sentinel, I don't know how to pronounce that, just kind of, you know, brooding as he does in his wonderful way. Yeah, Nova's just, like, so cool. She's kick butt. She's really kick butt. And I really just enjoy that a lot. I don't know. I feel like kick butt female characters are not always my favorite. Because I don't see the point for people to be, like, super overly independent. I know it's gonna get me hate comments, but whatever. Like, I think that depending on those people is really important. But I understand why she's fiercely independent and why she doesn't really trust people. And, like, seeing her, like, be so torn, and, like, I feel like she's kind of starting to trust people, but, like, not really wanting to. And, like, feelings are really confusing things. And it's just, gosh. She needs to be a kick butt character. The story wouldn't work if she wasn't, and I totally approve of it. Like, I thought Adrienne was gonna be my favorite character, but it might be Nova. I really like her. She's really fascinating. So I'm gonna stop reading this for the night. I'm here with my last check-in because I finished it. So yeah, I have so many feelings, and it's kind of hard to, like, talk about them all at once because I read 187-ish pages today alone. Yeah, I had a lot of free time at work and just kind of zipped through and finished it. But I'm just, oh, it's so good. And now I have to wait almost a year for the sequel. I'm definitely pre-ordering the sequel. I'm also really sad that this is only a duology because I just want more of this world, because I just think it's fascinating. But I'm sure that Marissa Meyer will conclude it well, and I'm excited to see how she's going to conclude it. So basically, just my basic thoughts. Nova is my favorite character, though Adrienne is very close second. I just loved exploring Nova's motivations, her trying to figure out if she could trust people, and, like, what trust really means for her given the situation that she's in. And yeah, I just thought that aspect of the book was really, really interesting, and I just found myself cheering for Nova, like, but, like, not cheering for her necessarily for what she wants, but, like, I want her to succeed, but I want her to succeed in doing the right thing. If you've read it, I think that will make sense. So I really hope that that happens. Who knows? Especially with that ending. Oh my gosh, that ending. If you've read it, you'll know what I mean. I'm going crazy. That's quite a place to leave a book hanging. Like, oh my goodness, crazy boat. So crazy. But yeah, I also just really appreciated Adrian, and as I said, he's precious, and him flirting is one of the cutest things I've ever read. Like, it's adorable. I ship Adrian and Nova so hard. Like, I want them to get together in the second book so bad. I'm glad it didn't happen in this one though, because that wouldn't have made sense. But I really hope it happens in the next one. But there's a lot of stuff that has to happen for that to happen. I just want it to happen. Because their interactions were adorable and intriguing, and Nova, the way that she responded, even though I know why she responded in that way, and it's very different than why I would respond in that way, but that's how I respond to having feelings, and it's just, it was just fantastic. I loved it. It wasn't like mushy romance, because like, I mean, romance was definitely not the main aspect of this book, but there was like a couple of mushy sentences that I just like was living for. Oh, it was so great. So yeah, I am giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. As I said in an earlier check-in, I can't give it more than a 4 out of 5 stars because the beginning of it was just far too slow for me to be able to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. And if you are someone who follows other conservative booktubers, you may know that some people DNF'd this book for content, and while I definitely respect what they DNF'd it for and definitely respect their opinion on that, and it was something that I wish wasn't in this book, it wasn't a major enough of a plot point for me personally to DNF the book. That's just my conviction. I respect other people's convictions on it, but I just think as a conservative booktuber that is an important thing for me to mention about my reading experience with this book. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. I really can't wait till November. I want more Nova and more Adrian and Max too. He was so, oh my goodness, I want to know more about him. I really do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below, because I really enjoyed doing this style of reading vlog, and I definitely plan on doing it again. So let me know if that's something you would like to see. I hope you have a really lovely day and a very Merry Christmas.